hot rod down there comes around the corner next to Kenny Lang. Of course, the Lang family, the Janice family have seen a lot of each other in the pro mod wars over the last couple of decades. Lang from Western Canada. Grand Point, Manitoba.
All right, y'all, we got J.R. Gray, Mr. J.R. Gray in the building. How you doing, man?
What's up, man? I ain't doing too good today, but hey, tomorrow will be better. So we ended up not qualifying today. Show got cut back a day, so we lost a day of testing that we thought we had. We hadn't ran this car in a year, so we got a day of testing we really needed.
Yeah.
Last night we were on a good pass. It should have ran like a 365 in Q4, but it never shifted out of first gear.
Yeah.
We had a short the round before that, and I think that short messed the ECU up, and we just didn't catch it. So we'll get all that fixed, and then we'll be back here a week ahead of World Series Pro Mod. Get this car tested in, the two NHRA cars tested in, and be ready to go in the battle for World Series Pro Mod and NHRA for the year.
Nice, man, nice. And so this is your 4th year in the NHRA, right?
Yeah, this is my 4th season starting, correct.
Okay, how are you liking it? I
like it. The competition is, I mean, you got to be on your game. Competition is stout. There's never no give me rounds. But I really like the challenge of it. Pro Mod is an animal all to itself also, and you know, you can watch the best in the business get lost sometimes. To me, it's top shelf, you know, where you're at mod, if you want to run quarter-mile pro mod, the 1/8 mile is for the boys and quarter-mile is for real men. And I used to never would have said that back in the day, but now that 1/8 mile, man, I can, I can drive that thing on 2 wheels on side 2 wheels at 1/8 mile.
Yes, sir.
That quarter mile, that's where it's really toting the mail at that point in time.
Yeah. What's
The only thing I don't like, and I guess you could even start running into the grudge game situation with this. The grudge game has the same kind of problem. Is over here at the NHRA, these guys, they will I always like gambling on the side, just a little bit of, controversy, lip boxing back and forth and stuff like that. Well, the guys won't bet any money in the NHRA. Of course, I've done a good job of giving money away over there, so you think there would have been more prevalent beside me. But the pride gets so much in the way that they won't even bet $100 on a reaction time. And so that's the only thing I don't like about it, because I think it'd be a little bit more entertaining as drivers and all with that. But of course, that's just my take, and truly I came up from being a grudge racer, so not everybody did that. So yet again, it might not be the same for them. They're probably having fun with what they're doing, don't want to mess with it. Yeah. So that's what I don't like about it, because I felt it would be more entertaining that way for myself.
So what's changed in grudge racing since you've been grudge racing?
I really think it got watered down probably about a decade ago or so now. Started getting watered down, let's say a decade ago. And, everybody's wanting to put that NT on there like they had an outlaw badge. Social media's changed it a lot, because you got to wear the beatdown for a lifetime, and a lot of people ain't built for that. They just can't take that kind of stuff. Stuff like that never really bothered me. And a lot of people just need more heart. It's not about, it's always been about the hustle and everything like that, but in reality, a lot of these guys, especially these guys that like to put that NT badge on the car, if you're waiting until you get it all the way ironed out, then you really ain't trying to grudge race anyhow. Because at the end of the day, when you really get ironed out, ain't too many people want to run you anyhow at that point in time. There's a lot of money to be made from point A to point B, not necessarily waiting until you get to B, start running your mouth. So I ain't never really, I've always respected somebody that, more so myself, that just will run their mouth no matter what, win or loss. Because I got more respect for them than the person that just beats their chest when they win. Anybody can do that. So, I don't know if that makes sense to anybody else, but that's how I feel about it.
Hey, everybody want to know what you gonna do with Jason X. What's the word on Jason X, man?
No matter what, I'll fix Jason X. I haven't put it on the jig yet. I guess there could be a few things that might change that plan. But as of right now, I'm gonna get all the get all these pro mods going, and everything taken care of for the year for them. And then whenever I get, let's say maybe early spring or early summer, then I'll try to get it over to Reese and let him put it back together. It ended up wrecking all the body parts. I mean, all the shocks need to be replaced. It's been up a lot. 4-link bar, front tippet. There's a lot of damage to it, so it's really gonna need a makeover. It's damn near total, but being that it's Jason X, I'd fix it either way.
Yeah, for sure. Man, did that make you feel some type of way when it happened? And you didn't have any injuries or nothing?
No, it did. It did. Honestly, it hurt me more than inside. It hurt me more than any of my other crashes. And anything out of all of them. It really did. It was kind of emotional. I'd have to say that. And the longer that night went on, the more real it got. At first you're all jacked up on adrenaline and everything like that, and you're like, glad to be okay and a little sad about the car, but as that adrenaline comes off, and we had so much blood, sweat, and tears in that car. There was a lot of years we were dragging that thing around till 3 a.m., getting 2 or 3 hours sleep, going back to work, work hard all day, be back in the race car shop. We had a lot of hours and a lot of time in that car over the years. And so when you lose something like that, I forget how many years, I think that car was,
around,
that particular version I think was around for 6 years or something like that. Maybe 7. It might have been 7 years.
It's been a minute.
That was like, I don't even remember. I think that was a third. We called it I don't even remember now, but it's probably a 3rd or 4th edition of Jason X actually. And I'd have to think back through the record books of the original one, and then after that we transformed that one, and then we had another one, and then we ended up. So that's been the 4th edition of Jason X.
Yeah, I remember when y'all put that loan, that pecker on there, and y'all hustled. Was it bipolar was that in Florida? I think it was in Florida.
They
gave you the back tire and the break, I think. The back
No,
tire.
I think we originally built that thing. I can't remember now. I have to think about how the story went.
Yeah, see, you got a lot of memories with it, basically.
I gotta think about it. I don't know if we originally built that. We weren't the first ones really to do it. Everybody plagued me like I was the first one to do it, but the first person really to do it, if I remember right, was Swanstrom. I think they showed up with a long one time. And then I ended up like a couple months later copying it for some race we had, and I didn't think it was fair, so we tried making that just to even it up a little bit more because we wasn't gonna pay that punk out. Yeah. We were trying to do whatever we could do to get across that finish line. It might have been bipolar. I don't think back on that.
I don't know if it was, but I remember in Florida in No Guts No Glory, I think it was 2019 or 2020. It was one of them where Bipolar gave y'all the back tire. I think it was the back tire and the brake, or it was the back tire in the clear, I think. It's the one. It was one of them.
I done beat that damn Bipolar 9 out of 10 times. So I can't even remember how many times I drove that damn truck down the damn track.
God, dog.
I beat that thing from a damn stock Chevrolet motor all the way to the damn 959 and everything in between.
God, man. All right, man. So, so I kind of know the answer, but what was your most anticipated race with Jason X?
Oh, the most, what was the question again?
Your most anticipated grudge race with Jason X.
I mean, always the most epic race would have been between Jason X and the Ghost.
Yeah.
I always wanted to get more of them off, and unfortunately we could never get more of them off. And that was always a fun little battle.
Yeah, that was a big rivalry. That was one of the biggest rivalries in grudge racing, in my opinion. Yeah.
And hell, I was so stoked back then. I would have liked to race them once a month. Until somebody cried uncle at the end. But fortunately, we could never come to terms on that.
Yeah.
But I would have to say that. I mean, in my eyes, we were 1-1. Everybody can argue about that however they want. And I still don't count shootouts, period. We can all argue about it. I don't care who does. Me personally, I don't count shootouts.
I'm talking about grudge racing.
So in my eyes, we were 1-1. Is what it is. I mean, I ain't gonna argue about that no more anyhow. Everybody can keep that in the record book however they want.
Yes, sir.
Don't bother me none.
Yes, sir, man. I know you got. So back to the. Who's your top? Not your top, but who are like the top dogs when it comes to grudge racing?
Nowadays, in reality, you're gonna have to put Trigger Man up there. Period. I mean, honestly, he. I mean, everybody can argue on it, but he kind of picked that torch up and ran with it from where he. When he ran with Tony and them, and really, truthfully, he picked that up, kept on running with it, and actually, in my opinion, made the torch brighter. He's been doing a good job.
Yeah.
Multiple cars, multiple camps, good heart. Puts on great shows. I mean, so in reality, you just can't leave him out. This past year, that Jason Wells and Sill, they were doing some damage. They kind of come. That car was real impressive. I think it was last year, if I remember right. And thirdly, I put the old Smurf.
Papa Smurf in there? Papa Smurf? Okay, Slaughter Boys,
I was, they did a good job. I'm trying to think, I'm sure I'm leaving some people out, but I ain't been keeping up like I should neither, so.
Busy, man.
Any of my, I'm sure there's some more I think of, but I'd definitely put Jamie over everybody anyhow, so that'd definitely be my number one pick.
For sure, man. Well, man, Jay, I'm gonna let you get back to it, man. I've been bothering you all week. I'm glad I got to interview you, man. I appreciate you, JR, man.
No, but man, honestly, man, I always appreciate everything you do for the sport and everybody else from, you definitely been coming up over the years, and we appreciate all the time and dedication you put in for what you're doing to help share this with everybody at home, because at the end of the day, anything that's a positive for drag racing and anything that's a positive for drag racing, I support.
Yes, sir.